All right, so we told you after this Luka trade went down that we wanted actual fan engagement. And we have a fan live in studio who made an appearance on our show, very passionate. Finesse Fave of Irving, you were out at the American Airlines Center. You're the reason why so many people were out there. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here.
So you organized this thing or helped organize it?
I definitely helped organize it. I went the night before at 2 a.m., which was just a couple hours after the trade. And I posted on my social media, guys, come out for a protest. And this is just a couple hours after, people are just hearing the news. So I know it was kind of late in the night, so we decided to reschedule till 12 p.m. the next day. So we came at 12, and there was already a big crowd going. And, that's the footage that you guys saw was all from that day.
And I was listening to your interview from yesterday. You're a lifelong Mavs fan. I mean, I would think you seem to be one of many, many fans that just is absolutely gutted by this. Can you just describe how you're feeling? Has it settled down at all or not really?
At this point, it has, yeah. Obviously, I went through the 5 stages of grief, right? So at first, it's denial, right? We're like, yo, he must have got hacked.
Yeah, right.
There's no way this is real, right? And then you start thinking, like, getting angry, like, why would this happen? Why would this happen? And then, at this point, obviously, we have to accept the truth that he's been traded. And, yeah, that's pretty much it.
What are you going to miss most about Luka as a Maverick?
Miss most as a Maverick. The thing about Luka was that he's invaluable. He's homegrown. It's not like somebody that just signed a contract with us. He's homegrown. Ever since he was 18, he's been in the city of Dallas. He's almost like the face of Dallas. Everybody in the city loves him. So, nobody in the NBA, I feel like, as somebody living in Dallas, nobody in the NBA is more valuable than Luka Doncic for us because of what he means to the city, because of the fact that he wanted to be here his whole career. He wanted to retire here. He was supposed to be the next Dirk, right? So the fans are let down, and yeah, man, it's just sad.
His legacy, Luka's legacy as a Maverick seems so short-lived. I mean, we're less than a year removed from him leading this Mavericks team to the NBA Finals. Thought that there would be another push for that. What do you think Luka's legacy is with the Mavericks, if you had to describe it?
That's a good question, because we're kind of like, we reached the finals once, we haven't won it, right? So it's tough, right? Because we love Luka, so we can't say that, oh, he doesn't mean that much to us. He obviously does. But being here only 7 years, and we didn't win the championship, he's obviously not on the Dirk level. I would put that as the the first level of legends of Dallas sports, but he'd probably be on the second level. Yeah.
Does this, a lot of Mavs fans are swearing that they're not going to support the team anymore. They're not going to go to games. They're not going to watch games on TV. They're not going to buy merchandise. Is this affecting you in that way too? 100%,
100%. I'm with the fans completely on that. I think that the team and the franchise and ownership completely betrayed the fans, completely betrayed them. And in order to earn back our trust, it's going to take a lot more. It's going to take a lot more. It's going to take years, actually, I feel like. Ticket sales will be down. Jersey sales will be down. People will be boycotting the team. I feel like there's going to be a lot of stuff going on because, we thought that he was going to be here for at least 20 years. And just to drop the ball on us like that is honestly crazy. Like, we expected Luka to be the next up-and-coming Dirk, right? He was supposed to be the second coming of Dirk, right? He was supposed to have a statue. That's what I said in the video. He was supposed to have a statue. So, and just to not have that anymore is like I said, the team definitely betrayed the fans, and they'd have to earn that back for sure.
So are you going to buy the new Luka jersey that's in a Lakers uniform?
I don't know if I'll buy the jersey, but I will still support Luka as a player. And that's because he didn't request this trade. As we saw in his statement yesterday, what did he say? That he thought he was going to be a lifelong Maverick. So we still have to support him. He didn't want this to happen. This is purely from the management, from the team, from the ownership. So, we can't go against him for that. We should support him as a player. But obviously, the Mavericks come first. So if we're playing the Lakers, I'm supporting the Mavericks.
What would you say to AD if he were sitting here right now?
I think obviously the initial reaction was bad towards AD because of the fact that we lost Luka, right? But at some point, we have to embrace the fact that AD is now a Maverick, right? We can't just isolate him and put him to the side. He's now a Dallas Maverick. And, we hope that he's going to put his all into winning a championship. And, yeah, we have to support him just like we support any other Dallas Maverick, right?
That's right. All right, Finesse Fave, Perfectly said. Thank you for your passion. Thanks for bringing on to Free for All. And let's see what happens the rest of the season with the Mavericks.
Sure. It's great to be here. Thank you guys so much.
Absolutely.
Let's unpack both of these trade situations, two very different scenarios. Peter, I will start with you. The fact that Myles Garrett is asking out of Cleveland, and then hold your applause for Cooper Kupp. We'll get to him. Let's start with Myles Garrett, Peter.
We like Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
He's a great ambassador for the sport. He is a different kind of player than just all ball. He's got interests outside of football, and he's done it the right way. You know, he's an 8-year veteran. I thought, like, wow, he's in his 5th year, 6th year. No, 8 years. He's just 29 years old, still can play in the prime of his career. And I see him as still the top pass rusher in the NFL, maybe the most dominant. So you're telling me that he's available and really the money, and Mike hasn't gotten into all the contract stuff, like, you know, it's a $25 million number, which sounds like it's wild. But if you're telling me that Nick Bosa makes more, I mean, I think Garrett's right there. If he gets traded, he'll probably want an extension. I would think teams are going to line up to give a first-round pick for Myles Garrett. Then if you're Cleveland, you suddenly have the number 2 overall pick, and there's this kid Abdul Carter coming out of Penn State. Do you do the old Justin Jefferson move with Minnesota? And that's a different caliber of player, but they had Stephon Diggs. He was unhappy. They moved him, and then they immediately just drafted someone in his replacement and said, okay, well, got rid of him. We could draft this guy, and this guy might be better. And it was Jefferson. But for Cleveland, what a mess. You have one of the best players in football entering really the prime of his career, still can do it at that level, and he's a true ambassador of the town and the city. And he's saying, I don't want to play another down for this team. A shame, and yet we've been down these roads before.
Yeah, it is a shame, and it is a mess, and it's another byproduct of the Deshaun Watson era. But I think it's way more interesting. It pertains to the league rather than the Browns. You can't get guys like Myles Garrett. That's not something that becomes available. If you're going to get someone like Von Miller or J.J. Watt, you can, but it's later in their career. It's maybe after some injuries. They're out there. You don't get Myles Garrett now, during which he proved he was the best pass rusher in the league this year. And these teams that are good teams that he wants to be on, they don't draft high enough to get somebody like that. That's a number 1 overall pick. So these really good contenders will never be able to touch him. This is an incredible, incredible opportunity for a team that matters to make a crazy move. And I think it's a fascinating thing that just recently, Brandon Beane, the GM of the Buffalo Bills, listen to this quote. He's asked about, you know, how do you bring someone in who's a real difference maker? How do you get somebody like that, like a Chris Jones type? Brandon Beane, quote, "There's not a lot of Chris Joneses out there. I don't know how many teams are going to be able to hand you a game record. They're probably all sewed up, but we'd love to do that if there's a player out there." Brandon, there's a player out there. His name's Myles Garrett. At this point, he's probably better than Chris Jones. This is the guy that you can see a team that's knocking on the door right now, like the Bills, the Ravens, the Lions, all these teams who are just there. It's not these crappy teams who are trying to rebuild. It's not Cleveland. It's teams that could be in the Super Bowl next year with Myles Garrett on their team. It's so unusual and so rare. I mean, I'm thinking of the Packers getting Reggie White in the 90s. Totally different circumstances, but this does not happen. So whatever you got, yes, get him. And he's probably going to go to a really good team that is so sick of talking about the Chiefs all the time and wants to get this guy.
And Kyle, the impact of getting a Myles Garrett would have the same type of impact of a Luka going to the Lakers or an Ohtani making that move. That's the type of player and caliber we're talking about when it comes to Myles Garrett. But, you know, you think how does a player like this, and I'm sure a lot of people are going, like, where is Myles Garrett mentally and why is he at this point where when you give 8 years of your career, and his 8 years have been great, and you produce only 40% win, you get to a certain point in your life, it's almost like as one is getting older and they get towards the end of their life or they're in the 4th quarter of their life, their priorities shift and everything is shifted for him. It's like, yeah, I've done the defensive player of the thing. I've done 14+ sacks for the last 3 years. I have 100 and some sacks. None of those things mean anything to him. At this point in his career, he doesn't want to just be the great defensive end that played in Cleveland and just kind of got washed away. He's concerned about his legacy, and that just lets you know that, when it comes to team sports, we hear and we talk a lot about, especially for players and what it means for individual success. That only takes you so far. And for Myles Garrett, it's 8 years, and he's like, I'm done. And I think what's going to end up happening is that there's going to be a lot of pressure. I know the Cleveland Browns are saying that, hey, look, we have no intention, but I think the pressure is just going to be massive. There's going to be a mad blitz to be able to get a guy like Garrett, because why would you want somebody in-house that doesn't want to be there? There's a lot that you can get, and could perhaps change the organization, because you can get a lot for Myles Garrett.
This is where the Warriors are really good in transition.
Curry is hunting. Just 2 for 12 from 3. He has the matchup against Paolo. Curry navigates left, uses the contact. That pinball's in. Looney will get credit.
That was an interesting offensive rebound for a bucket.
Just got enough of it to get it up towards the rim. Banchero, 18-footer. One and done for Orlando. 16 rebounds for Kevon Looney, but he commits the offensive foul.
Watch this one. A bucket to Kevon Looney, but really Paolo knocked that one in.
Looney says, no, that was me. See my hand up?
He made sure. Here we go. I mean, it's some kind of way right now if you're the Orlando Magic, something going toward the rim.
Draymond on the switch, picks up Anthony. And now it's Moody with Wiggins reaching. Anthony tiptoes. Need a board. And it's Golden State who grabs. 2 minutes left. Curry has Carter. Lefty dribble. Fires it to Draymond. 4 to shoot. Green's runner gets the kiss. Welcome back, Draymond Green.
I mean, you got to watch Draymond. That's a nice soft touch. Understood time, understood what was going on, and he got it up to the rim. 3D said, just get it on the rim. You never know what happened.
Hey, guys. 100 seconds to play. Wagner gets the matchup against Steph. 6'10 against 6'3. Clock down to 5 to shoot. Wagner again. Curry, tough defending. Draymond helps, but Wagner doesn't care. Down to a 2-point game.
Franz Wagner, wow. That is a big-time shot.
How do the Warriors respond? Looney short roll, dimes Moody from the corner. The Looney-Moody connection registers another long ball. Moody's hot stretch continues. He has 17.
I think Franz should try this one.
Banchero, he is wrapped up by Green aggressively. Those two shake it out. They're just fine. Calmer minds prevail with 50.6 left.
Paolo Banchero is strong. Good job by Steph to Looney and Moses Moody. You see Steph was making that play before he caught it to give it to Kevon Looney. Understood that he was open, and watch Draymond. No N1 at all. Look how strong Paolo is. He still got it up.
How risky is that, though, for Draymond Green? You're not making a play necessarily on the ball there.
Well, you know, Draymond in risk taking. He has no problem with doing that.
That was just the first and the final 2 minutes. Magic need a hoop. Banchero goes to work. Pivots around Draymond. Green holds up defensively. 8-time all-defensive team makes another defensive stand. It'll remain with the Warriors.
Well, let's watch this defensively. Good job of staying down. I couldn't see from that angle, but there's a...
Green to throw it in. Anthony pressures. Magic not yet fouling, and there is the foul.
A lot of clock, a lot of time went off the clock. If you had a foul to give, you got to take that one earlier.
Now, Anthony has to be careful. That was his 5th. Curry is fouled. And the best free throw shooter in NBA history is a guy who's immune. Best shooter in NBA history. 7-point game, 3 possessions, down to 5. Franz has turned it up in the second half. Wiggins is fouled. Magic trying to avoid their 4th straight loss and 9th defeat in the last 10 games. It's a 1-possession game. Anthony drills a 3. Warriors have to execute here, and Steph is fouled. A 13.9.
Cole Anthony, what a beautiful shot. Didn't waste time. Good pick by Carter. And this is a tough shot. Contested. Splash. Give him 26 in this game.
65 over a 3-game stretch for Anthony. Been a bright spot in a struggling part of the Orlando season. Four-point lead. Gary Payton II in. Kevon Looney heads out. Golden State more switchable here. Perfect from the line, 8 of 8 for the Warriors. Now, right now, tied for the last play-in spot with the Kings, but plenty of time left. Not plenty of time left in this game. Anthony hit a 3 last possession. That time off left, Payton boards. And the Magic will surrender this one. Golden State tested here in the 4th quarter, but they pull it out 104-99 to cap off their 6-game homestand, 3-3.
That was a good win by the Warriors. Defensively down the stretch, but also execution was the difference for the Warriors winning this game.
Andrew Wiggins led the way with 25. Curry, 24 points, although he struggled.